Hi guys, Bano here. I know I'm a little bit late today, but I'm sorry. But here are the V4 changes for Aven SP and Robin SP. Unfortunately, I was a little bit busy in the morning and yeah, I couldn't cover it then. But yeah, V4 actually dropped one day before the usual release time. So yeah, both units actually got buffed, no nerfs again. So huge in my opinion, huge W. So we can start from Aven because Aven got the more changes, most of the changes. Now for Aven, his base health and base defense actually went down while his base attack and his base speed went up. For his base attack, it's now 485. It used to be like 426, while his base speed was 103. Now it's like 107. So yes, this actually will matter, especially in his Fuwa team. So the base attack increase is actually pretty huge because he also got bounce multiplier changes on the previous patch. So a pretty big W. Now for his skill punchline generation, it went from 2 to 4, while his ultimate punchline went from 5 to 6, so he gets more punchline now. Pretty cool, because most of the time you run him as a solo elation on the team, so you don't get that much punchline. Now you can actually get decent punchline by himself, or if you run him on an elation team, that's nice. Now for one of his main traces got buffed actually. His speed to elation initial requirement speed went from 160 to 140, so it's actually a buff again. Now for his trace 2 changes, now he does not have the elation self-elation buff. It is not 100 anymore. It instead is 80. He only gets 80% elation damage bonus, while he gives 20% elation to the whole team. So pretty decent change in my opinion. It doesn't change that much actually. And his additional crit damage buff after basic skill Fuwa ultimate is now team wide, so he gives 40 plus something crit damage to the whole team. So it's actually a pretty decent buff. Now he actually buffs his teammates on Fuwa teams, mainly Morton, X-Blade, and Asheville. So yes, yeah, he does something for them now. Also for his E4 change, his Eidolon 4 also got a small change. Now team-wide, but now only lasts for 3 turns after using skill. I think before his E4 was for himself, but now it's like team-wide. So if you do pull his E4, now it's a team-wide buff rather than for himself. But unfortunately, it only lasts for 3 turns, so yay. Now for Robin. Robin technique now gives 20% self-action advance on top of the 30% damage boost she already gives, okay? So again, technique got a slight buff, pretty good in my opinion. Also now her crit damage to vibe conversion also got buffed, so she gives more crit damage to the allies, depending on the vibes you have. I think it's like 1.5x the amount of vibes you have. It used to be just 1%, but now it's like 1.5, so pretty decent change. Also a small change on her ultimate. Now her ultimate will, if you have a Memo Sprite, like if you are ulting someone like Aglaya or Evernight, now that person will give 2 vibes on top of the Memo Sprites can also give 2 vibes. So you're technically getting 4 vibes in a row. Before that, only the characters gave the vibe points, but now if the units also have a Memo Sprite, the Memo Sprite can also give vibe points, like 2 vibe points, okay? So just keep that in mind. So yes, in a Remembrance team, if you're using her on a Aggie or Evernight teams, they can generate more vibe stacks for Robin. So it's a small buff for those 2 units. I don't think Cassie and the others are good with it. So yeah, for the normal characters, they only generate 2 vibes. Okay, again, this is on the ulti character, not overall. And now for her, oh, I forgot. Her E2 and E1 got swapped around, while her E2 also additionally gives 20% rust pen. So, hey. For those who don't know, her current E1 is a mini Cypher ultimate. It's like she just, she stacks, records the ally damage and does true damage to the enemies. Pretty decent, but I think her E2 is more valuable. Like her E2 is Raspen. On top of she gets more energy and more vibe stacks for the whole team. So yeah, but I think her E2 is not worth it. Like it's not like that strong on the same level as like an archer or something like that. Okay. Now for her E6, Her E6 does not give Ruspen anymore. Now it gives 100% damage to Memos, right? So yay! So if you get Robin's E6, now she gives Memos right damage multiplier. So cool, I guess. Also, her ultimate overcap can only occur during fever stats. So yeah, that's also a thing now happening with her E6. Again, it's a Veil thing, so I don't think most people should give a crap about her E6 actually. Now for Robin's signature change, her self-action advance when battle starts is now only 30%. It used to be 40%, but it doesn't matter because now her normal kit has the 20% action advance anyway. So yeah, her signature isn't that worth pulling in my opinion. The only reason you pull it is for the second effect where she gives 20% speed to the whole team. But even then, I don't think it's that big of a crazy icon. I think Robin's LC should be skippable in my opinion. Overall, I think this V4 change is pretty good. Both characters got buffed, so I think both player base should be happy, especially for Avan. These changes do matter a lot, mainly in his follower team because of his base multipliers getting changed, and overall his kit now actually buffs other units because mostly you're gonna use him with Ashvale and Blade, and both of them getting that crit damage buff I think is a pretty big deal. So overall, I am pretty happy with these V4 changes. You guys just tell me your thoughts on these V4 changes. There should be a V4 somewhere like 3 days after this video posted. So if there is a V5 change, I will inform you guys. But that's all for V4. Overall, pretty decent changes. Like I said, Robin did not receive that crazy of a change. It's just her crit damage buff is slightly better now. But Avon did receive a lot of changes, especially on his Fua team. But his Elation team also got a slight buff. But overall, solid changes. Personally, I still think Robin should be your top priority just because she is just too valuable. And I don't see a world where V5 just nerfs her to the ground because usually V5s they do a wording change and maybe they do nerfs. It's pretty rare, okay? V5 nerfs are pretty rare. I only seen buffs on V5. V5 nerfs, I don't remember. Maybe back in the days where Jing Yuan got a change on his kit, but it was like before his release. It's not even like V5 change, so yeah. But I think I'm pretty happy with these changes. I think if there's something I'm gonna change, maybe Robin's energy. I think Robin will run into energy issues at E0, and now you need to get E2 to get consistent ulti uptime. But yeah, we probably need to get her. We need to see some gameplays to probably get a better idea, in my opinion. But yeah, that's it. Both units got buffed, and if there's a V5, I'll inform you guys. And yeah, have a great day, guys. I'm a little bit tired. I'm not gonna lie, so I'm probably gonna take a nap, and I have to go to work after that. So yeah, have a great day, and yeah, see you guys, I guess.